Today I'm going to be tying a Zebra Midge CDC Emerger for you. These are fish catching magnets, especially on the Bighorn River in the springtime, even in the winter when midges are a primary food source for the trout. In the vise I have a Firehole 316 emerger hook. You can use any emerger hook. These are barbless, so I really like them. I like the wide gape and the really sharp point. You might lose a fish once in a while with this small of a hook with no barb on it, but that's okay. I put them back anyway. So if you keep good pressure on the fish, then you won't lose it. Makes it a little more challenging. So we also have in the vise this is a glass extra small peacock bead from Spirit River. I don't even know if you can still buy these. If you can't find the peacock or gunmetal beads, I know that now you can buy glass beads that have silver on the inside of them. They're called mercury beads. They might even more accurately represent the midge as it's emerging. It makes a little air bubble and it's very shiny. And so I've had good luck with these peacock beads because I think they represent the head or abdomen of the midge. The other thing we're going to tie into the fly is CDC puff, which is white. And I think the undulation of the CDC puff along with the shininess of the glass bead is a good representation of a midge emerger. They sure seem to work well for me. And so the materials are simply of a hook, the wire, the bead, the thread, and the CDC puff. So once you get used to doing this, you can really tie these up pretty quick. I'm using UTC 70 denier thread. It's thin, it lays down flat. And so I'm gonna start my thread and kind of jam it against the bead, and notice the angle of the thread. This makes it easy for new tires because then you can do 1, 2, 3 wraps and just move it back towards the bend of the hook as you go, and then your thread's locked in, so you don't have to battle trying to get your thread locked in. And then I'm going to advance the thread back up to the bead, and I'm going to tie in my wire. And I'm going to tie in on this fly some Semperfli extra small bright gold wire. I like silver, but I don't have any extra small silver wire, so I'm just going to use this for this fly. Again, a good tip for beginners, make sure that you tip your wire down when you're trying to tie it in. It'll help to get it in place. But on this particular pattern, you can just kind of jam it against the bead. Get a couple of wraps. Oh, she came out. So put it against the bead and get a couple of wraps before you move it so it doesn't come out. And then you want to make sure that you hold that against the hook shank as you go towards the bend of the hook. Make sure that you're laying down nice, flat, smooth wraps. Again, this UTC, I spin it counterclockwise so it flattens out the thread nice. And then just be careful not to catch the point of your hook. All right, and then you're going to advance your thread forward, back to the bead. And now we're going to build up a very slight taper on this fly. Spin the thread counterclockwise again. We're going to go back down towards the hook shank, 3/4 of the way, and then back to the bead. Spin your thread counterclockwise to make sure it's flat. We're going to go down the hook shank halfway and then back to the bead. Spin your thread counterclockwise to make sure it lays flat. Go down the hook shank a quarter of the way, back to the bead. Now we're going to counter wrap our wire the opposite way. Well, I just noticed that I have silver wire on here, not the gold wire. So this is a brassy size wire. It's a little bit bigger, but it'll work just fine. Don't get caught up buying a bunch of extra materials because you don't have exactly what the guy tying the fly has. Now to lock in the wire, notice I'm just going to pull this over so that it crosses over the wire with my thread. Take my non-tying hand and lay the thread over the wire, and then I'm going to do 2 locking wraps. And then you can either cut or helicopter your wire to break it free. The last step is to tie in the CDC puff. And the CDC puff, if you get your fingers moist, you can lay it down so it is a little bit easier to tie in, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to leave it all fluffy so you can see what it looks like when it's done. Make the feather a little bit evener there. I want that puff about the size of the body of the fly. Then I'm going to pinch it, hold it right over the bead. Again, spin my thread counterclockwise. Then I'm going to do a pinch wrap by putting the thread in between my thumb and my forefinger. Bring it down. I missed the bead. Bring it down right there in front of the bead. And then you can, just leave that wrap laying there, you can adjust your feather to be the length you want it. I'm going to do 1, 2 locking wraps. So I've got that feather jammed right up against the bead. Lock down. Now I'm going to trim off the excess feather. And now a wet finish. You can use head cement if you want. I don't have a problem with these flies really falling apart, so I'm just going to do 2 whip finishes. 4 on the first one, 3 on the last one, and then break my thread off. I got a couple little stragglers there. I'll trim those. You don't need to trim those for the fish. And that's your finished fly. Fish catching magnet.